Hey, sixth graders, hope you had a great Easter break. We are going to move on with the rest of chapter 7 over the next few days. I'm really proud of you guys. You guys did such a good job on your last homework assignment prior to break. Everybody pretty much got everything correct. The only thing that I wanted to reiterate and make sure people know is that when you answer with a fraction, you need to reduce it. So that was the only thing that kids got wrong on 7.5 homework. So we don't need a review video on that. A lot of the things are going to be reviewed in this section anyways. So just be careful when you have fractions that you always reduce them. Take that one extra step. All right, so we're going to talk about percents, decimals, and fractions, how they all relate to each other. They're essentially all the same thing. You're just taking a number and rewriting it in a different method. So percents can be converted to decimals. Decimals can be converted to fractions. Percents can be changed into fractions, so on and so forth. So we're going to take a look at all of that. So first example, and I'll be remiss to not remind you, make sure you're taking notes on this. And that you are writing everything down, okay? All the important stuff. So the first example is to write a decimal as a percent. So we did this in the last section. We actually went from writing a percent to a decimal. We're going to do the same thing. If you recall back in the last section, when you wrote a percent as a decimal, you moved the decimal point over 2 spots to the left. So now, guess what? We are going to move 2 decimal points to the right. Now, there's another way you can do that as well. You can also write it as a fraction. So you have to think about how you say 0.7 the right way. So 0.7 is like slang. That's like saying y'all versus you all or all of you guys. So 0.7 is slang, but if you say that the right way, it's 7/10. So you write that as a fraction. Now, if you remember, decimals, percents mean per 100. So we want to change the 7/10 into something over 100. So if we multiply both sides by 10, not both sides, the numerator and the denominator by 10, you end up with 70 over 100. And guess what? That means 70%. Now, there's a way easier way to do this. And that's by starting with the decimal that you're given and moving it over 2 spots to the right. So if we go actually I'll do it on this example. If you have 0.16, that means 16/100ths. If we take this decimal point and move it 2 spots to the right, guess what our answer is? 16%. Okay, so they show you the whole thing about writing it as a fraction. It's really not necessary to do that, okay, but that's how we end up with that. Okay, so if we have 0.4118, again, if we take this decimal point, move it over 2 spots, we get the new decimal in between the 2 ones, so that becomes 41.18%. Okay. All right, let's take a look at this one. We have 0.067. Move our decimal 2 spots to the right, and we get 6.7%. Excuse me. Now, it's pretty easy to do just moving things around with the decimal point. Okay, just be really careful. Anytime we're talking about percents, it's 2 decimal points. So if you're moving from a decimal to a percent, you move it 2 spots to the right. If you want to convert it from a percent to a decimal, it's 2 spots to the left. Okay. Now, sometimes we don't have it quite as easy as we would like. Sometimes I'm going to give you a fraction and I'm going to say, hey, can you write this fraction as a percent? Way back a couple chapters, I don't even remember which chapter it was probably second quarter, maybe the beginning of third quarter. I had you guys write down some very common fractions and what they were as decimals. Hopefully you still have that in your notes to refer to. But there's some fractions you should know, like 1/2 is 50%, 0.5. Okay, 1/4 is 25%, 0.25. So some fractions you should automatically know what their decimal equivalency is, and therefore their percent. If not, there's two things you can do. The first thing you can do is try to change your denominator to 100. Remember, percent means 100 per 100. So what I want to do is write this fraction as a percent. 25 luckily does easily change into 100. If I multiply the numerator and denominator by 4, I get a denominator of 100. Okay, and then 9 times 4 is 36. So this is 36%. Okay, so that's an easy one because the 25 can easily change into 100. Same thing here with this. This can easily be changed into 100. You can change this by multiplying the numerator and denominator by 5, and you would get 15%. But, excuse me, the second method to work on this is to use division to write the fraction as a decimal. So, if I take 3 and I divide by 20, that's going to give me a decimal. Remember, I told you already the answer is 15%, so that's what we're shooting for. So if I take 3, divide it by 20, 20 does not go into 3. This goes back to, I think it's one of our first assignments. We did long division. Remember those 2 pages that was way too much work for you guys? I shouldn't have given you all that. But this goes all the way back to that. That's why we did it. 20 does not go into 3, so we put a 0 there. We're going to add a couple more zeros. How many times does 20 go into 30? 1 time. And then you have a remainder of 10. We're going to drop this 0 down, and 20 goes into 100 15 times with no remainder. So our answer is 15%. We're just taking that decimal, moving it over 2 spots. Okay, next one. Write a fraction as a percent. We're going to do this as an easy one, guys. Look, 50 easily changes into 100. If we multiply the numerator and denominator by 2, we get 14 over 100, which means we have 14%. Okay, this one, again, super easy. You could probably do this in your head. It's 16% because you can multiply the numerator and denominator by 2, but we want to practice using our division. So we're going to divide the numerator, 8, divided by 50. 50 does not go into 8. 0, right? So we're going to add our decimal, float it up, and then add 2 more spots. I'm sorry, 2 more zeros. You might have to add more than 2 zeros. It just depends on what you're dividing. Okay, so 50 goes into 80 1 time, and you get a remainder of 30. If you drop down your 30, drop down your 0 becomes 300. I don't know why they're not showing you this work, but 50 goes into 300 6 times. So our answer is, like I said before, 16%. Sorry, having a little coughing fit here. All right, so again, same thing here. Oh, this is very interesting. This is kind of what we're dealing with right now with home offices. But it said 1 year, 7 out of 25 people with home offices were self-employed. What percent of people with home offices were self-employed? So that means 7 out of 25 people were self-employed. We can take this fraction and multiply it by 4 over 4, and we get 28 over 100, which gives us 28%. So that means 28% of people with home offices were self-employed. A lot of times people just have offices in their house in case they need to do work or pay bills or whatnot. But these days, it seems like a lot of people are using their offices for work and school. Okay, same thing here. 1 year, 3 out of 50 people who bought new cars bought cars that were yellow. Interesting stat. What percent of people that bought new cars bought yellow cars? 3 out of 50. So to change this 50 into 100, we're going to multiply by 2 over 2. That gives us 6 100ths. And that turns out to be 6%. So only 6% of people bought yellow cards. That makes sense. You don't tend to see a lot of yellow cards out there. Okay, this is what I was talking about. We had done this before. If you can find it in your notes from previous note taking, and I'm sorry, I don't know exactly when we went over it. It was sometime when we were doing fractions. You can add on to it. I think we did not have the percents before. If not, just this is in your book, or you can jot this down. This is very helpful because if you see something like 1/5, you don't even have to do the multiplication to change 5 to 100, or you don't have to do the division to do 1 divided by 5. You should know that it's 0.2, which is equivalent to 20%. 1/4, 1/2, and 3/4, you should know no matter what. You should have known these for a while, right? 1/4 is a quarter, or 25%. 1/2 is half, or 50%. And 3/4 is 3/4, or 75%. So I would jot this down so you have it and make sure you kind of, I don't want to say memorize it, but commit it to your mind by practicing. Okay, homework. Your homework is page 315, 27 to 55 odd. Once again, I'm going to have a Google Doc for you ready to go. So make sure you are doing your work on a piece of paper, keeping it in your binder, but then just putting the answers, just simply putting the answers into your Google Doc. Make sure if they're asking for a percent, you put the percent symbol. Okay, it's just like a unit. Like if I said, you know, how many centimeters is my countertop? I would measure my countertop and I'd put centimeters at the end. If you don't put your unit, it means nothing. So if we're talking about percents, make sure you put your unit at the end so that you have it nice and thorough. Okay? All right, well, have a great day. I hope you all enjoyed Easter. And I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks.